Okie dokie. We're back once again. Ooh. Alright, let me just open up my pages. Gotta close that. Should be good. Should be good. Okie dokie. Lovely, lovely. Okay. We're here. What do I talk about? Oh wait, let me grab the my timer again. I don't know if it actually really helps me out too much. I didn't take notes as I had intended to last week about what times were interesting for my YouTube videos. So maybe we'll try and make a better habit of doing that this time. Here, let me just switch to my other displays to make sure that we're good. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right, we're good. I'll just pop this over here, I guess. And then I think we're probably going to want to start the timer when we actually start doing stuff. I want to hang out for maybe we'll just start it now, huh? I think I usually want to try and chat for about 15 minutes. I don't know. I think I have a Discord channel. I should probably link that in my YouTube videos now. But I have a Discord channel, and there's a bot that will announce if I go live or if I publish a video. At least it should. I have to check that out too. But anyway, I think it polls the Twitch API about every 5 minutes. So let's check. I want to make sure that has time. There's not really many people. It's just me and Sanguine in the Discord right now. So there aren't a ton of people actually that'll get the message. I think Sanguine's offline. But I mean, maybe it's good habit. It's good habit, I suppose. Yeah, I have a couple of VODs. I have the past 2 VODs that I have to post. I uploaded them to YouTube, but they're private at the moment. I just uploaded them because it takes so long to process and upload actually into the server, since they're like 5-hour videos, you know. But I still have to do like the title, and I want to try making like at least a quick little something thumbnail to make the videos more clickable, even though they're just raw VODs. And then I have like no subscribers on the VOD channel, which is, I don't really care. I'm not like, it's mainly there just for record's sake. But you need a certain amount of subscribers. I forget the exact number, but it's like 500 or 1,000 or 100 or something. It's some sort of subscriber milestone to be able to put chapters in, which is unfortunate because I think for the VODs, having chapters is really useful, right? Because I'll be here for 15 minutes just kind of talking, yapping, and maybe not everyone wants to watch that. Or maybe I'll take a break or something. I'll have a BRB, and you know, people want to skip the BRB. So I don't know. Hopefully that'll be there soon. Okay, look at this. We have an announcement, a live stream announcement. That's cool. Exciting. Yeah, so what else can I talk about? Today, I'm taking a pickleball class with my mom. That's why we started at 3 today. It goes from 1 to 2. It's just an hour. It's actually really fun. I like being active and stuff like that. It helps me like in a mindset thing, and it makes my body feel better. And obviously I have like fitness goals that it helps, but it can get kind of boring after a while if you're just kind of working out or whatever. And if you're running around and swinging your arm back and forth, when you're playing a game, it's a lot easier to pass the time, and you can kind of be out there for hours and not be like, oh, this blows, and still get that kind of physical activity. I think it's really fun. And then I'm kind of competitive too, so I like the fact that you score. You can get points and stuff like that, and you have an opponent. It's cool. Yeah. But yeah, we were doing that. It's me and 7 other people, and we're basically just doing drills and stuff, and the teacher's really good too. She's nice. Oh, 1 second, I just got a text I have to reply to. I'll be quick, I promise. Okay, we're good to go. Dinner plans. I gotta be careful to stay in frame. I feel like I noticed that last stream that I'll like be doing this or something, and I'll be out of frame. 1 second. Okie dokie, we're good. Yeah, I guess I can talk a bit about what we're doing today. I'll do like a formal kind of explanation once we get into the meat of the stream. But I guess just for the sake of talking, having something to keep saying. So we're doing Legendary Joker Week. And yesterday we did a seed with all 5 Jokers, all 5 Legendaries. And we're just trying to get our high score and stuff like that. And then today we are going to take some of the information that we got yesterday and do some theory crafting to try and find our plan of action, do a little bit of research, open up the collection in game, and see kind of what some of the good combos could be. So we can try and revisit that on Thursday and on Friday and maybe get a higher score or see if we can get some cool combos, some fun runs going. It could be nice. But yeah, that's about the size of it. I'm kind of curious. So I'm doing this Legendary Joker Week thing to try and build up a YouTube video. All of it is under the same field. All the streams this week are going to be under the same kind of umbrella of content, where we're talking about the Legendary Jokers and playing with the Legendary Jokers, trying to think of some cool combos, doing the real-life lore research, and then all of that will go into one video. My kind of worry, I guess you could call it, just based on yesterday's stream and popping that into my editing software, is that it might be too much footage, right? So we had 6 hours about 6 hours yesterday. Probably going to do about 4 hours every other day. So 16 plus 6, 22 hours-ish. 18 to 25 hours of footage. It's just kind of meaty, you know what I mean, to get through and to just edit down, find the highlights, which is one reason why I got the timer up here, so that maybe I can take some notes on what's interesting. I think one strategy that'll help too is Like, for instance, today we're going to do the combo theory crafting. And you don't actually need to see a lot of footage from the live stream. You know what I mean? You don't actually need to see me mulling over the cards and doing the research necessarily. Like, maybe you can get a few, you know, quick clips of it in the YouTube video. But I think the way I'm going to present that information after the fact is by just doing a bit of a, let's call it, I don't know, a narration or something. I don't know exactly how it's going to look since I have to do it still. But I have to do a narration or some graphics or something, you know what I mean, to convey that information quickly. And kind of turn today's 4-ish hour stream, fingers crossed, today's 4-ish hour stream into about, I don't know, 30 seconds. Because I don't really know the scope of how long I want the YouTube video to be. One thing I want to do that I just remembered is I want to make sure that I don't have ads on the live stream. Or as little ads, as few ads as I can muster. Because I think since I have a fairly small following here, that ads are not really worth it. I'm not going to make more than a few cents a stream from ads, and I think it kind of deters people from watching, if that makes sense, right? You load in and there's an ad right in your face. You're like, I don't care enough about this to really, to really, like, watch this ad to get into the stream. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So bear with me. I'm just going to check it out. I'll try and read out what I'm doing. I don't know if I want to put the ads manager on stream. I don't think there's anything wrong with it per se, but just I don't want to dox myself. Ads. Activate your schedule to automatically run channel ads. Can we turn this off? Click below to tell us why you disabled ads manager. Get it off. Pre-roll ads. Disable pre-roll ads when I run ads. 30-second ad break equals 10-minute pre-roll ad-free. Up to 3-minute ad break equals 1 hour pre-roll free. I don't know what that means. Enable dashboard notifications to be alerted when pre-roll ads are enabled or disabled. Sure. Enable stream display ads on my channel. And then let's try and go to the ads manager. Ads per minute. Total minutes of ads to show viewers every hour. Low. I do not want automatic ad length and frequency. Start delay. How long ads manager will wait after the broadcast starts before starting to run scheduled mid-roll ads? I mean, let's put it at the max. I don't know, 30 minutes. You have one 30-second ad break every hour. You have scheduled 30-second ad breaks per hour. 30 seconds is our maximum break length. If you selected ads per hour, ad minutes per hour. As a result, you'll have one 30-second ad break every hour. Auto snooze ads. Ad break notification 3 minutes before ad break notification in chat. I think I want that. Sure. I think that's fine. I don't know. I don't know how to lower it anymore. Schedule disabled. Your schedule is saved but currently disabled. Would you like to activate your schedule right now? Sure. I mean, let's just see how it goes today, right? And then we can kind of work from there. I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's that. Here, I guess I can pull up. Let's just pull up our scores from yesterday to start thinking. So, the red deck. We had 715 million. Anti-12, round 34. It's our worst run of the real runs. We had one run that was a complete dud. Plasma deck. I think that is our most promising. If we're specifically looking for a high score, even though it wasn't actually our high score. It was our high score in terms of rounds, but not in terms of our best hand. I think we could definitely get a really good hand on it, though. We got 1,716,000,000, so over 1 billion more than our red deck. Which, yeah, I think the red deck is kind of bad because we're really looking for a ceiling here, not necessarily consistency. And I don't think that that is our best bet. You know what I mean? We have an extra discard, which I think later on we're going to have the consistency. We're not going to need discards because hopefully our deck is full of face cards to make flush fives with or five of a kinds. I kept running into the issue where we would have five of a kind more highly leveled than flush five. So if we're duplicating one really good card, it's going to be a flush five. And that's kind of our end game. But since we upgraded five of a kind so many times, we actually don't. We want one non-suited card. And usually we're going to go kings, I think. I think kings is kind of the play. But anyway, yeah, plasma deck was not our best hand. It was our second worst out of the real runs. But I think I kind of developed the strategy a little bit better as we did more runs. Erratic deck was really cool. I think we can still cheese that for a really high face card build, which might be interesting, especially for Kanio, because the more face cards we have, the more face cards we can destroy, if that makes any sense. So that could be worth pursuing. The black deck was really bad for us because it just basically messed up our money early. I think it's worth giving it another shot if we have the time, but it just didn't work out for us in that one run we gave it. And then the Zodiac deck was our highest, and I do think that that's really good too, because in the specific seed we were doing with the 5 legendary jokers, there were some kind of mandatory tarot cards that we needed, like Hanged Man or Glass cards or Death, you know, stuff to duplicate and destroy face cards that we just did not get early enough. So having 2 extra fools can kind of get that for us earlier than we want, and kind of get the engine going of destroying for malt, destroying for extra malt. But yeah, I think we are now past our time here. We're at 1746. So let us pop open Balatro. Balatro. I'm just going to call it Balatro. And let's get moving. Let's start doing some theory crafting here. I'm curious how we're going to set up our stream display today. I don't think it matters a ton. Because, again, I don't think I'm going to put this into the YouTube video that much. I think this is just mainly going to be a stream to stream and do a bit of research. Okie dokie. And then I think maybe we want to be up here. See, I'm like not in frame. I think we can bring it down a little. That looks good. Nice. Let me switch over the audio real quick. Game audio. Should be good. Now we're gonna turn that off. And then yeah. Okay, and then I want to pull up a doc here, or maybe we'll just do it in Notepad. A new Notepad. Just so we can take a few notes. Notes in the Notepad. What do you know? Okay, so let's head over. Oh God, what happened? To the collection. I think I want to take a look at Scooty's builds too. He had a run with the same C that we used yesterday. So let's see. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, we have these locked. That's annoying. I think there's got to be a better way to do this. Let's head over to game capture. And we got the game open. And then we can add window capture, untitled notepad. Put it under the webcam, I think. It's probably a good idea. And then let's check out the window capture here. Just a moment, sorry. Whoopsie doopsie daisy. Where do we want to put it? I think I want to go here if I can. And then maybe like this. How does the text look here? How does this look? Why is it like that? Sure, let's just leave it there. Okay, cool. So I think a big one is going to be, let's see, jokers to hunt, or jokers to consider. Okie dokie. Jokers to consider. Let's see. Let's go through specifically. Should we make a new profile? Cool. Alrighty. So I think we're definitely, let's just look through here, right? I want to see jokers to consider just from the top. I think most of the common jokers are just not going to be good enough for us. Here, wait a second. Am I? Whoopsie. Okay. Sorry, we're just getting ready here. A lot of prep, working out the kinks. Beautiful. All right, jokers to consider. I think, like I was saying, a lot of the common jokers are just not going to be good enough for us. We are looking for, like, I think jokers that score mult while the cards are being played are usually quite nice. 20 mult. I think a mime is really interesting too. Because with the Perkia we can get tons of steel cards. Mime might be worth. So let's just put that as a joker to consider. Discard. No, I don't think so. Nope, nope. Eights, we're not looking for eights. It has to be kind of reliant on face cards. Methinks. Retrigger all cards in the final hand of a round. I think that's not bad. I think Dusk is kind of middling. Because retriggering, even if it's just for one hand, can be really, really good. Chaos, no, I don't think so. Steel Joker is going to be great. Same reason for Mime. Steel Joker. And then I think we have to look at Scary Face. At some point, I do want to check out if Scary Face versus Smiley Face. If those are going to be good enough, or which one's going to be better for us. You know what I mean? Because we're going to be playing face cards, and we're going to have a ton of mult. The Smiley Face is going to get multiplied a ton. But if we can get all of our jokers, our legendary jokers, we're going to have a lot of stuff interacting with mult, but very little stuff interacting with chips. So I don't know which one works out better in the end. Aces, we don't care. We have to go kings and queens, just for Triboulet. I was considering maybe we do one where we just nuke all of our face cards and don't even play them. One thing we could do, potentially, is this one. Para-Idolia I think that's how you pronounce it. All cards are considered face cards. It doesn't really matter for AAA, but it would make Kanio go off. How do you spell it? P-A-R-E-I-D-O-L-I-A. P-A-R-E-I-D-O-L-I-A. With trading card, I think, is really good. Let me see what it is. Where she's at. This one. Could be cool. Because then we can discard and thin our deck out, and it still pops with Kanio. Could be really good. I don't think the banana is good enough for us. Even Steven and Odd Todd are useless, pretty much. Aces, no. Business card. I don't think that these are kind of our dream here. Played face cards have a 1 in 2 chance when scored. To give $2 when scored. I don't think it's enough. It could be. It could be. Especially again with Periol. We're getting to the bottom of this. Give me my Google Translate. Someone pronounce this for me. Translate. Pareidolia. 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 This one is pretty good. I do like this. I think this is definitely going to be a combo piece at some point, especially with non-5 legendaries. You know what I mean? If we just get a few legendaries. Supernova. Ride the Bus is miserable. Space Joker, I think, is pretty solid. But I don't know how good it would be. We can just jot it down. I'm thinking about... something with, like, Oops All Sixes. If we can get maybe, like, a lucky card build with Space Joker and Oops All Sixes. And just kind of... pop off there. Like if we could get a run with a Red Seal lucky card and maybe like a Bloodstone or something, we can go for like Hearts lucky card, something or other, and then play flush 5s with that and get our increased hands. It could be really cool. The egg, I don't think it pertains to us. Burglar, I guess I don't really think is too pertinent to our strategies. Blackboard, no. I don't. Again, it's just good, but it's not necessarily a combo piece. Runner doesn't really matter. I don't think we're going to be playing straights too often. Ice cream. No. DNA obviously is an amazing card. I think we have to put it down. DNA. Splash, I think, is pretty irrelevant. Because we're going to be playing mostly 5-card hands anyway. And all the cards are going to count when scoring in the first place. Blue Joker. 2 chips for each remaining card in deck. I don't think that's good enough. Because, again, we're going to want to thin out the deck for Kanio and then also just for consistency's sake. So we're probably going to have the base number or lower of cards in our deck. Sixth Sense. The first hand of the round. If the first hand of the round is a single 6, destroy it and create a spectral card. I think I'd love to get a DNA Sixth Sense run, just in general. But I don't know if that's necessarily a legendary thing for us. I wonder how it works. Like, it depends. It probably depends which one is in order. You know what I mean? I think this could be really fun, though. Constellation is interesting with Perkio, but I don't think it's that good. It's just kind of not flashy enough for how good we could be with the mult, right? Like, let's say we're playing one planet card on average every round. We're gonna get to round 30, and we're gonna have 3x mult or 4x mult, which is really good. Don't get me wrong, but like Kanio can get to like 20 mult. Yorick starts at 5 mult. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's necessarily a great combo piece, or good enough. Especially if we're going to start leveling our stuff through Space Joker, then Constellation is kind of useless. Hiker I do think is really good, though. Because if we're duping cards with deaths, the chips will carry over. So let's say we're playing one card a ton, and then we dupe it with a death, it gets all of those extra chips. So I think we gotta put that on the list. Hiker. Faceless Joker. Earn $5 if 3 or more face cards are discarded at the same time. I don't think that this is going to be great because we want to play our face cards. I mean, maybe if we have a ton of jacks and we want to play kings and queens, it could be good, but I'm not too sold on it. Green Joker, I think, is just a solid card in general, but not a combo piece that we're going to be looking for again. Superposition is kind of useless for us. I mean, it could work. It could work, but I just don't think it's good enough. Our to-do list is really going to be bad because I think we're going to be playing mostly one specific type of hand. The Cavendish is cool, but not really too sold on it. I think Card Sharp is, again, it's good, but not amazing. Like 3x mult is cool, but it's not as good as we could get. Red card, nope. Madness, I want to do a deck with Madness. I really do. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I think it would just blow us up, right? Like, Madness has to be, like, I feel like you're going to want, like, an Eternal Stencil Joker or something. And Madness, and that's it. Square Joker. I don't think so. Seance, I again don't think is going to happen. I think straights are really not in the cards for us. No pun intended. Riffraff, I think, is again a really good card. But I don't think it's the wave for us. Vampire, I do think would be great. Vampire plus Midas Mask. If we can, that would be cool. Because that would actually go crazy. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Where, like, there's a condition, and if the condition's met, it gives us 3x mult. This one, there's a condition, but it's definitely meetable, and we can gain 1 mult every hand. If we have Midas Mask, we're gaining 1x mult every hand. Which is kind of nuts. Shortcut, I think, again, is not great. Hologram, I think, is worth considering. If we can get like a cryptid hologram kind of thing going. Cryptid or hologram with cryptid Perkio. Vagabond. Vagabond, again, is just a good card. It's a really, really good scaler in terms of econ. And the tarots are very powerful, especially if we want to roll into like a specific card with Perkio. Get those deaths, strengths, hanged mans, justices, chariots. Get those early on. That is definitely something I'd consider picking up, but I don't think it's something we're going to be looking for exactly. I mean, we can write it down just for the sake of things. Vagabond. Vagabond. I think Baron, obviously, is kind of insane. If we can pick up a Baron. Cloud9. Right, I don't really need to explain this, right? We're going to have a ton of kings if everything goes well. And they give us 1.5x mult each. Really good. It's really good. Rocket, again, is good, but I don't know if it's what we want. Or what we're going to be hunting for. .2 mult per consecutive hand played without playing your most played poker hand. I think it's interesting. For sure, I think it's interesting if we can survive early playing 3 of a kind. Maybe we build up the 3 of a kind and then switch over to the 5s. Especially if we're splitting between flush 5 and 5 of a kind. I think Obelisk could be really good. Midas Mask, obviously. Luchador is just a worse Chakotay, so I don't think it's going to happen. Photograph is just a worse Triboulet. Well, I mean, I guess it includes Jacks, but I don't think we really care about that too much. Gift card's cool, but again, not good enough. Turtle Bean is just a nice pickup sometimes, but not good enough. Erosion. 4 mult for each card below 52 in your current deck. I think that this could be the best use case for erosion, but again, I don't know if it's actually going to be good enough. Like, let's say we get down to, I think it's reasonable to say 35 cards. So 35 is going to be 17 less than 52. 4 times 17 is 40. 4 times 7 is, give me a second here. 4 times 7 is 28. So 68 mult. It's good. It's good, but the thing is, we do have the 2 flat mult adders. You know what I mean? We have Kanio and we have what's the other one? Yorick. So I think, let's say we have times 5. Let's get out the calculator. I don't want to embarrass myself further than I already have. Calculator. Okay, so we have 17 times 4. 68. 68 times 10, 680 plus, and then that times 5 is 3,400 mult that we're adding, which I know it's crazy to say this, but that is not going to get us something substantial. And that's kind of like the upper end of what we can expect. You know what I mean? I think that like getting down to 35 cards is like an end game situation, and the Canio at 10 is an average situation. So you know, I'm not too sold on it. 3,400 is not going to get us a billion points. Okay. Reserved parking. Each face card held in hand has a 1 in 2 chance to give $1. Again, that could go well with our Oops All Sixes deck. I think that might be one I want to try out. But I'm not sold. Mail-in rebate. Earn $3 for each discarded ace. Rank changes every round. I don't think that matters for us. To the Moon has been a consistent pickup for us. It's really, really good. Because we can get hundreds and hundreds of dollars just with the amount of tarot cards we're going through and how valuable our jokers are. The Temperance is giving us like 40 bucks. We're getting Hermits all the time if we so choose. And then we're not really buying a ton from the shop other than the packs, right? We're not cycling through jokers very often. So it's pretty easy for us to build in a ton of money. And then we're getting 20 bucks a round from interest. Hallucination. 1 in 2 chance to create a tarot card when any booster pack is opened. I think that is pretty good. I think it's actually worthwhile for us because we're going to be hunting for packs. And then if we toss it in the Oops All Sixes, every time we open a pack, we get a tarot. Really good. Fortune Teller, I think it's the same kind of fate as the Erosion. It is going to be like the best use case for Fortune Teller. You know what I mean? It's going to be the best best we can hope for, right? We're going to be looking at like upwards of 50 mults by the end game. But it's just not enough. It's worse than Erosion by the end game. So, Juggler, +1 hand size. I think it's, again, a good card, decent card, but just not something we truly care about. A discard, it's the same reason we don't really care about the red deck. We're going to have consistency by the end. So, the early game is just cake for us to get through. It's just paying our dues. Actually beating enough antes to get up there. And then once we get to the end, we're going to have enough consistency that we don't need a ton of discards. And the Joker slots are so valuable that it just can't fly. Stone Joker. This Joker gains plus 25 chips for each stone card in your deck. I think it's a cool idea, again, for the same reason as Scary Face. But I think it's just not gonna line up with our game plan. You know what I mean? Like, stone cards are just bad for us. We want to play flush fives. We want to play 5 of a kinds. And even though it could be a ton of chips, especially if we get the stone, what's the other one? I don't know. The one that gives you a stone card every hand. Or every round, I should say. Like, I feel as if it's just not, the juice is not worth the squeeze, so to speak. Golden Joker, again, is just one of these situations where I like to pick this up in normal runs. It's basically free. If you have an extra joker slot, leave it in your hand for 2 rounds, and or leave it in your bar for 2 rounds, and it pays for itself and then some. But it's not worth it. To the Moon is just so much better for us normally. And then the Midas Mask, if we can get that, it's like not even close. Now this one is something I want. Lucky Cat. Lucky Cat. Lucky Cat, I think, could go crazy. Lucky Cat. If we can get an Oops All Sixes, Red Seal, Lucky King of Hearts, and dupe that to the moon, bro, just go crazy with it, I think that could be a chance to be the ceiling of what we can get. I mean, obviously it's not going to get us infinite, but I feel like it could go nutty. Because, let's see. Let's just math it out again for a second. Calculator. So, let's see. We have, for a lucky card, if it triggers successfully, it's a 1 in 15 and a 1 in 5. So 1 divided by 5, 0.2. 1 divided by 15 equals 0.06 repeating, plus 0.2 equals 2.6. 0.26, I should say. So we're at 2% normally, base. With Oops All Sixes, it's a 2 in 5. 2 divided by 5 is 0.4. 2 divided by 5, 2 divided by 15, Jesus, 2 divided by 15 equals 0.13, so plus 0.4. Now we're at 0.5. And then we get 10 chances. So I think if my statistics class gives me anything, we just run this 10 times. Let me see. So we just have 10 chances. Okay, I just want to check my math here. I don't think it's times 10. It's just not times 10. Okay, so, because if we have red seals on it, it would be 10 chances to hit, right? So how do I even Google this? Hold on. Bear with me, bear with me. What is the average chance is what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for how many times we're going to hit it on average. What is the average amount of times we will hit a 5.33% chance if we have 10 attempts? Okay, so let me think about it for a second. Is that right? We're just gonna scrap this part. It's good, okay? It's good. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. LMAO. Okay. So we're gonna go Lucky Cat. Oops. All 6s. Maybe we'll give... What else can we toss in there? We'll come back to it. Baseball card is one of my favorite jokers in the game, but I just don't think it's very good for us in terms of... We're going to have the legendaries, dude. Legendaries are not... What do they look like, actually? It's purple with a legendary. We're just not going to have them. At least 2 of our slots are going to be legendary jokers. So we're not doing that. And then Bull. Now this is interesting. I think Bull is considerably good. Like, quite good. Potentially amazing. $2 for each, or 2 chips for each dollar you have. We can get $200 easily if we're saving for it. Like, we can just get a ton of money. So I think we have to consider it, at least. Diet Cola. I think it's situational. Trading card we already wrote down. I think is quite good. To thin our deck out, to destroy some jacks or queens or whatever. And then also to get us up for some money. Flash card. No thank you. Popcorn and spare trousers, again, are the same fate. Same fate here, where it, like, popcorn is situational. You just pick it up sometimes. And spare trousers, I think, again, it's one of the best use cases you have for the card. Where if we're going to have a ton of kings and queens, you can pop out 2 pairs willy-nilly. But I just don't know if that flat mult is going to be good enough. Like, let's say we play 2.5, 2 pairs around. Let's say we play 2. I think let's be reasonable here. We're going to get, again, up to that 60, 70 mult mark by the end of the game. And then if we're playing 2 pairs and it's not good enough for us to actually win, then we're losing money by playing extra hands. Like, we want to build that money up. Ancient Joker, I think, is quite good again. But I just don't know. We could do like a wild card thing. But I think a wild card is just unfortunate to play. You know what I mean? You want it to be better. You want it to be a glass card. You want it to be a steel card. You want it to be a lucky card. Like, having it be a wild card is just not good enough. And if you're going to get 1 1/4 on average triggers, it's just, again, not good enough. Especially when you compare it to Baron. Ramen, situational. Walkie-talkie is not going to happen for us, I don't think. Seltzer, again, is one of the best cards we can pick up. It's really, really good. But it's situational. And if we can pick it up, like, when we're in round 33 or something, that's nice. That's nice. But I don't think it's necessarily something we have to consider. Castle, I don't think is worthwhile, honestly. Smiley face we've already written down. I gotta do the math here between scary face and smiley face. See which one's better. Campfire is a big one. I definitely want to check out Campfire. Campfire plus Perkio plus a ton of money. It kind of goes crazy. Like this could be a 10, 15, 20x mult. You know, even bigger if we really go for it. Like, if we get the discount thingy, we're essentially just getting free tarot cards from the shop. If you buy it for one, sell it for one. You know? And you could do that a ton of times. Gold card. Played gold cards earn $3 when scored. I don't think that this is necessarily something we gotta go for. It could be a way to pick up money when we are hunting for that vampire Midas Mask combo. If we have the Midas Mask and we don't have the vampire, we can pick the gold card. I'm curious to see if this actually works with the vampire, because I don't know. I don't think they're scored as gold cards. I think they're scored as plain cards, if I recall correctly. Mr. Bones. Cool card, but kind of useless. Acrobat. Not. This is just a worse Dusk for us. ×3 mult on the final hand, I think, is going to be worse overall than retrigger all your cards. Like, we're going to get more than 3x mult if we ×2, ×2, ×2, ×2. You know what I mean? This is the dream here, I think. In any deck where we're going for face cards, particularly, this is amazing. Sock and Buskin is kind of the dream. Sock and Buskin plus Triboulet is disgusting. And then, like, if we have enhanced face cards, I don't even, like, want to think about it. Maybe full build, right? If we have Lucky Cat, Oops All Sixes, Sock and Buskin, Triboulet, and then, I don't know, something else. Oh, and then Bloodstone. That's 5 jokers. That would go insane. Insane. We would definitely be going scientific on that one. Swashbuckler. No. Troubadour. Again, we don't even need to really consider it. I mean, I think it's a decent. It's better than the +1 hand size and the +1 discard one, because, again, we don't really need. Our goal is not to have a ton of hands per round. We want to kind of shit on the boss or shit on the blind. Just one go, you know. Once we're kind of not getting our score to be on fire, that we're hitting the end of the run. When round begins, add a random playing card with a random seal to your hand. Interesting. Interesting with the vampire. And then if we can get that with the Paraidolia, all of the face cards, doesn't matter what card it is. But I don't think it's great. I really don't think it's too great. Maybe worth considering, but I think we skip it for now. Hearts and diamonds count as the same suit as spades and clubs. I don't see that really mattering for us too much. And unless these cards, right? $1 when scored, 2x mult, 1 in 3 chance, and then 50 chips and 8 mult. I don't see these really matching up. Like, if anything, I do these. I think Bloodstone is far and away the best of these 4 suited cards. But, you know, it is what it is. Throwback. Plus 0.25 mult for each blind skipped this run. There could be something interesting there. There really could be, because I think early on we're strong enough that it doesn't particularly matter that it doesn't particularly matter for us to play a hand, or for us to play around, I suppose. Because if we can get the legendary jokers early, we're going to be getting strong hands. Like, I was beating rounds by orders of magnitude in the 5 legendary build, and that only had 2 or 3 legendaries up until kind of the end of the base game. And Kanio was kind of dead in the water because we didn't really get many hanged mans. So I was basically just working with Triboulet and whatever I could scrap together. And it was going kind of swimmingly. Hanging Chad. Retrigger the first card played in scoring. That's what this Joker's called? Hanging Chad? That's weird. I think this is just a worse Sock and Buskin. If we can get it, it might be something for us to consider, right? Just as a placeholder. But I'm not too impressed here. Now we're down to the Bloodstone. We definitely want to hunt for that. I think it could be really, really good. Especially if we're getting red seals, because that is the goal anyway. We want red seal cards. So even in a non-Lucky Cat deck, I think it could be really good. I think Glass Joker could be great too. Glass Joker could be really, really good if we're going for a glass thing. Right? Because we want to destroy as many cards as we can that are not kings and queens, I suppose, right? We want to destroy a ton of jacks, and then pretty much every card in the deck that's not a king or queen. And then even later on, we want to play glass cards that are kings and queens. We don't necessarily want them to break, but at least one is probably going to break in a hand of 5. Especially with red seals, we could break all of them. So Glass Joker. We're going to consider that. And then we're reaching the end here. Showman. I want to consider Showman. Is there anything around that could like would be amazing doubles, right? Showman? I wonder if you get Showman and the 6th Joker, the 6th legendary, you get a 6th soul card. Normally it just gives you the base Joker. I wonder if it would give you another, what's it called? If it would give you another version of the legendary, one of the legendaries. Flower Pot, again, I think is a lot. Not the juice is not worth the squeeze, again, to say. Where it's just kind of hard to meet that, especially late game. We're gonna want to be playing flush fives, not diamond, club, heart, spade, and then a repeat, 5 of a kind. And then ×3 mult is not a huge get with what we're talking about, with the scores that we're trying to get here. Blueprint, obviously, it's amazing. It's kind of the same deal. Blueprint. And then what's the other one? I think it was back at the beginning. Maybe we didn't get to it yet. Here it is. Brainstorm. The Joker gains +8 chips when each played 2 is scored. I think that's, again, not really for us. Mary Andy. +3 discards, -1 hand size. I don't see a use case for this. I could be missing something, but I don't really see it. For the same reason I've said before, where the discards are kind of not too important for us late game, and early game is kind of a breeze, or at least it should be. Oops, all 6s, we've discussed this so far. The Idol, each played Ace of Spades gives 2x mult when scored. I'm curious about this because I heard somewhere that the Idol only triggers to need a card that's in your deck. And if that's the case, it's basically just a duped AAA, which, I mean, is just worse than Blueprint and Brainstorm. But it's interesting. Research required. All right, what do we have next? Seeing Double. ×2 mult if played hand has a scoring club card and a scoring card of any other suit. Again, I think that that's doable, but 2x mult is not worth. Matador, I think, is going to be quite bad. Because if we get Chakotay, nothing will trigger the boss blind. So I think there are a lot of better ways for us to get our money than this. Gain 0.5 mult per discarded jack this round. This seems like it could be good, but I think it's a bait, right? Because the idea is that we want to thin jacks from the deck. Like, we want to keep our kings and queens, and we want to destroy face cards. So we're going to kill all our jacks, right? Like the process of elimination here. And if we have no jacks in the deck, then we have no jacks to discard. And this is just a dead Joker. The duo. Okay, so we are going to be playing flush fives every time. And now this could be, the duo and the trio are just going to be worse versions of the family for us. Now, if there was a flush, or if there was a 5 of a kind version, that would be crazy. But 4x mult might be worth it for us. We're talking basically like another Yorick without the, a worse Yorick without the discard requirement. But the discard requirement is not really a huge issue for us. So a Blueprint with Yorick is going to be better, or a Blueprint with Kanio is going to be better than the family, but I mean, in a pinch, it can take us somewhere. All right, then we got the last page here. Stuntman is interesting. I don't know how interesting, though. I think that the -2 hand size actually hurts us quite a bit, right? We'll go down from 8 to 6. And the discards aren't a huge factor for us, but now we kind of have to prioritize it if we only have -2, or if we only have 6 hand size total. So I think we skip the Stuntman. I'm not. It's promising, right? There's some sort of something there kind of itching on me, but I think it's gonna be too hard. And I think there are a lot of ways to get chips, or a couple other good ways to get chips, like the Bull or Hiker. You know, instead of having to take that sacrifice of -2 hand size, which does hurt. Invis Joker, I think we put this here in the duplicating jokers category. Brainstorm we've already discussed. Satellite, earn $1 at the end of round per unique planet card used this run. I think we can use a lot of unique planet cards, and it's something to consider, but again, this goes in the category of like things we are going to be looking at to make money. You know, there are plenty of ways that we can pick things up. Shoot the Moon, plus 13 mult for each queen held in hand. Now, this one, unfortunately, I don't think makes the cut. It seems cool to go for it, but you have to think, right? We're playing 5 cards. We're playing 5 cards in our hand. And unless we get a plus hand size voucher or a plus hand size joker, we're probably gonna have 8 hand size total, or less if we get the spectral card that reduces our hand size, or if we go for something like Stuntman or something like that. So at most, we are going to be getting plus 39 mult, which, as I've said before, right, like looking at erosion or I forget the other ones that we were looking at, but like a flat mult after the hand is scored is not going to be good enough for us, because I think with AAA you want it like, if you add 4 mult, if you upgrade a hand or you add 4 mult by playing a face card or something, that 4 mult gets multiplied by 2 5 times. You know what I mean? So it's 4 times 2, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. You know what I mean? So I don't think that Shoot the Moon is really going to be good enough. Driver's license, cool, but I think it's easy enough to meet this, but the ×3 mult is kind of just the one below. Like the family I would consider, because it's ×4, but ×3 I just don't know if it's enough to take up a slot. If we can get it and it works out, then that's one thing, but hunting for driver's license is not a combo piece enough to make a build around. Cartomancer, Hemomancer. Create a tarot card when blind is selected. I think this goes in the same category as Vagabond and Haluk. Cartomancer. Where they're pickups, but not great pickups. Planet cards and celestial packs in the shop are free. Not crazy. Burnt Joker is interesting. I think that this is one of the like similar to what's it called, Space Joker, where I think we'll have enough consistency at some point to be able to discard a 5 of a kind or to discard a flush 5, hopefully. And leveling a hand is actually so good because of Triboulet. It gets exponentially better. You multiply it by 2 to the 5th. You know what I mean? Which is a lot bigger than the flat mult that we're going to get after, right? Like 2 to the 5th is, we're getting, let's say 10, let's say 5, right? 2 to the 5th. Like, I'm just going to check it out here. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Right? I think we add another one in here. So we're going to you get 4 mult to start with. And then 1, 2, 3 times 2. Okay, wait. 64 times 2. It's 128, right? It's 128, and then you also get it times 128. So 4 times, you're going to get 128 for each 4 mult or whatever. Or 64, I guess, per each level. It usually upgrades by 2 mult. So you're going to get plus, or times 68 mult. Or times, what is it? 64, Jesus. Times 64 mult, and then you're also going to get, if we have these two as well, the times 50, which is, I don't know, it's a ton. But that's everything so far for the Jokers. Let's take a look at the decks too. So I think red deck, for the reasons that we've said, is pretty mid. Discards are not highly valued. Blue deck, I noticed that we go long enough that we'll probably get an extra hand just from the grabber. And we thin our deck out so much that we don't actually have enough cards to play 5, 6, 7 hands at the end of the game. So I don't think blue deck is going to be very good either. Yellow deck, I think $10 is cool or whatever. Maybe something to consider. Mid. It could just help us get off our feet in terms of the money thing. Maybe if we're going to go for a econ combo build, maybe that's worth. But otherwise, I don't really think it's the play. Green deck. I think that this hurts too much. Earn no interest. This not only affects your base interest, you're still going to get the seed money vouchers in game, which are useless now. They just take up their dead voucher slot. You're going to get, if you get To the Moon, that's dead. It's a dead Joker now. no interest means no interest, not just no base interest. $2 per hand remaining and $1 per oh god, $1 per discard is a lot of money though, especially considering that we're probably going to be able to beat most in 1 or 2, right? And hopefully we don't need our discards, like I said. So I guess I'll consider it in the same vein as the yellow deck. Green deck. Mid. Black deck, I think, could be interesting, considering if we can come up with a 6 Joker combo, right? Because one hand, minus one hand, is not a huge downside for us. It's lost money, but in terms of score potential, I think we're going to need to, like, we're not going to get there. Maybe we'll squeeze out 1 or 2 extra rounds from using all our hands, but the heights that we can get to are going to be much higher with an extra Joker slot than an extra hand. So black deck, if needed. Again, the magic deck, I think can be really good, but that's kind of seed dependent. It's seed dependent, if that makes sense. Like, if we can just get the tarot cards we need regularly, then I don't think we want to take it. I think we go same here, magic deck, if needed. Nebula deck. I don't think that we're going for this because the consumable slot is quite good. And also, I think, like I've said many times, we tend to upgrade the 5 of a kind higher than the flush 5 because we unlock it later. So we don't necessarily want our most played hand as planet cards because we're going to want to transition from flush 5, 4 of a kind, full house, whatever our most played hand is in the early game, into flush 5. Did I say flush 5 before? But we want flush 5 at the end, which we're not going to be able to play until we get more consistency in our deck, which will mean it's not going to be our most played hand for quite some time. Ghost deck. Ghost deck, I think, can be really good. But that's for a Perkeo. Ghost deck. Perkeo run. Perkeo run. Okay. Abandoned deck is so bad. So bad. If it worked with Kanio, then that'd be one thing. If we just started with times 12 mult from having no face cards in the deck, that would be one thing to try, but I am quite confident that it does not work that way. So, unfortunate. Checkered deck, checkered deck. I've played so much checkered deck. This is my gold stake deck. I don't think that it's really that interesting. Sorry. I was just checking something. Got a Discord message. Checkered deck, yeah. I don't think so. It could be a rush flush 5. And then that kind of stuff that I was saying before. I mean, we're not going to get the telescope. What is it called? Astronomer deck, or what is it called? Nebula deck and checker deck at the same time. So it doesn't really matter. But we can unlock Flush 5 early. Maybe with the checkered deck. Could be cool. And then that also could be a good play for our Bloodstone combo, because we have hearts already. So it's interesting. If we're having trouble running something, then we could try it like that with the checkered deck. But if we can avoid it, I think I'd like to. I think it's just a lower ceiling. Zodiac deck. Start run with Tarot Merchant, Planet Merchant, and Overstock. I don't know. I don't know about that. It could be good if we get Perkeo. Let's put that in here too. Then we can thin these out later, depending on if they are good or bad. Painted deck, painted deck. I think that's absolutely terrible for us. I think we don't even consider this. +2 hand size is just not what we want at all. It's good, don't get me wrong, but -1 Joker slot is a tragedy. After defeating each boss, gain a double tag. I think that this is an anomaly. I'm not sure exactly what we're going for here. You know, the combo potential does not make itself immediately apparent. Maybe we keep it in mind just in case something pops out at us. Like, okay, let's just think about it for a second. What would we even want to hit with a double tag? Standard packs could be good. Arcana packs could be good. Polychrome jokers. Free shops. I mean, I think it's just generally good. Negative jokers. I mean, we will get a shit ton of double tags, right? So we could get like a ton of negative jokers or something. I don't know. We'll have to kind of put it to practice to really see the valuation on it. It's interesting though. It intrigues me for sure. All right, the plasma deck I think is our best bet in terms of getting our highest scored hand. It kind of, we're gonna have a ton of mult and not very many chips, which can bite us. But I think we just keep it in mind, right? Like, I think we can try out all the other decks first, or the other decks we want first, and then if we get a seed that we like, that looks like it would fit the plasma deck, then we can switch over, do the same seed on the plasma deck, and see what happens. Maybe we go to the moon. And then the last one is the erratic deck. Again, I think that this could be really good if we cheese. You know what I mean? All ranks and suits are randomized. If we can get a ton of face cards, if we can get the deck with a million face cards, then it'd be really good. I saw a Scooty video with all 10s, so it's possible. I think it was all 10s of a single suit, too. All right, give me a moment, guys. I'll be right back. I just got to use the bathroom real quick. Okie dokie, I'm back. Alright, we've gone through the decks. Let's start looking at vouchers. I mean, let's just go through the whole thing, right? Vouchers. Overstock. Overstock is good. We want to pick those up. I think most of the vouchers are going to be good. Liquidation is disgusting. Glow up and reroll. I mean, all of them. Omen Globe. I think that's good too. This is not even worth noting. I think all this stuff is really just going to be good. We should get all the vouchers if we have a ton of money. The Tarot Tycoon, I don't know about it. Planet Tycoon, again, I don't know. These ones are dependent, right? On how it's going for us. Like if we go Campfire, obviously we're going to want them. But otherwise, I don't know. The money, it's really good. Extra Joker slot is amazing. Playing cards. This one I value quite low. But it could be good because we really are not looking for a ton with in terms of Jokers. The -1 ante is interesting. I don't know. We have to kind of do a play-by-play basis for these ones. I've said many times how I don't value hand and discard too highly with these legendary runs, but it's a hard ask to go down below what we start with. I think getting extras is not worth taking up a Joker slot, but losing one for -1 ante could be good depending on if we just need more time to scale up. But I'm not sold. Reroll Boss Blind. I think that is good if we don't have Shakot, obviously, right? Because if we're in the Hearts thing and all Heart cards are disabled, we lose. If we get the one where all face cards are disabled, we lose. It's just GG. So there's that. The hand size is quite good. And that's all the vouchers. Tarot cards, obviously we're looking for the Fool. Magician, I think Fool is just a dupe for anything, so it's quite good. Magician, I think the Lucky card strat. Lucky card is probably the best, maybe besides Steal for late game. If we have a bunch of hand size and Steal, that could go one way, or we do the Cryptid Infinite Strategy thing. That could be good, but I'm not sure. Priestess is mid. Empress is kind of mid. Emperor is just a pickup when we see it, but it's not necessarily core. We're looking for something else. Hierophant could be good if we're lacking on chips. I kind of want to do the math out on that and see what's going on. Enhances one selected card to wild card. There could be something here, right? But I think, like I said before, the wild cards are just not good enough. Like, we're going to be able to get flush 5s anyway, pretty consistently, and it's just not good enough to take up that enhancement spot. Like Chariot or Magician are way better than Lovers in terms of the late game. Chariot, yeah, steel cards are good. We're looking for that. Justice is quite good as well. The thing is, we just need Cryptid or Death or something to go along with the Justice, because there's a clock on it. You know what I mean? There is a clock on how many times we can play that. Hermit is wonderful. I'd love to do a Wheel of Fortune per KO. Wheel of Fortune per KO. That could be cool. Strength is great. Hanged Man is going to be great. Death is going to be great. Temperance is an auto pickup with the legendaries. Devil card is pretty good, but not great. Stone card's pretty bad. And then all these three, 4. Why is that here? These 4 are middling. They're situational. The Sun is mainly what we're going to look for. I think Hearts are the best suit in the game, just based on the support cards for it. And then Judgment is pretty mid. Planet cards. It's we want this. We could go for a Flush House build. It's interesting. But we really want Eris. That's kind of where we're staying. Let's check out the spectral cards. I'm not too familiar with all of them, to be honest. This is quite good. If we get familiar, that's a good face card, a good spectral card. We want more face cards in the deck. Grim, destroy and get aces. No, I don't think so. We don't really want to dilute the face card saturation. Same here with Incantation. Grim and Incantation are net negatives. Yeah, net negatives. Add a gold seal. I mean, they could work out with the Pareidolia. What is it? Pareidolia. If everything counts as a face card, then these get better. They get playable. But otherwise, they're actually unplayable. Talisman is fine. Aura is really good. Wrath, I think, I value very highly in a normal run. But in these situations, I don't think so. Sigil, it's a big risk. Like, if we're going for a specific suit, then we're going for a specific suit. And if it gives us one of the 3 other suits, it's ass. Again, same thing with Ouija, where if it gives us a face card, everything turns to face cards. It's amazing. If it turns everything into anything else, if it turns it into any of the other 10 cards, it's absolutely terrible. It's a big net negative, or at best, a neutral card. Negative Joker is amazing. We don't even have to really talk too much about that. Getting more Jokers is great. Destroy 5 random cards in hand, gain $20. I think this is pretty good. This can be pretty good. Our legendary strats are usually all about destruction, killing stuff. So, yeah. Ankh, again, can be... Oh, excuse me. Can be very good. Ankh can be very good. But again, it's situational. If we have our whole combo, it could be amazing to get another random Joker. But if we destroy all our other Jokers, we're toasted. It's really bad. Red Seal, one of the best. If we can get Red Seal on a card, it's beautiful. We kind of need Red Seals, I think, for our decks to even work. Again, same thing with Hex as it was with Ankh. Polychrome on a Joker would be beautiful. Destroying all our other Jokers, not so much. Not so much. Trance. Add a blue seal to one selected card in your hand. I think that this is, again, it's pretty middling. It's not great. It's good, but a random creates a planet card if this card is held in hand at the end of the round. It's a random planet card. We're kind of quite specific with the planet cards we want. Purple seal is much better. We're going to discard more often. Discarding a card, I think, is more consistent than holding a card to the end of the round. So if we can put this on a jack, a numbered card, a queen even, discarding it is quite easy, and we value tarot cards, I think, over a random tarot card is valued higher for us than a random planet card. And even in general, I think that you'll find some use in any random tarot card. You can find great use in a good planet card, one that applies to you, but it's easy to be like, this is actually just useless. This is $1, essentially. It's just a worse gold card in a lot of situations. Cryptid is great, amazing, one of the best. The dream. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I don't even really need to speak a ton on it. Like, if we can duplicate any face card, even a jack, it gives us more opportunities to destroy it. If we can duplicate a king or a queen, then it just makes our deck better. If we can duplicate an enhanced king or queen, it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. Creates a legendary Joker. I don't think we really need to talk too much about this one. This is our primary objective. This is what we're going for. This is what we're going for. And the last one, Black Hole, upgrade every poker hand by 1 level. I mean, it's good, man. It's good, but I don't think it's that good. Like, I think I value it lower than a lot of cards. Like, I would value this lower than, like, Familiar. You know what I mean? I'd value it lower than Aura. But it's definitely a net positive, which you can't say for all the spectral cards. Some of them are actually neutral or negative. But yeah. Enhanced cards, I don't think we need to go too much over this. I want to check out if bonus cards are good. Mainly, which one of these is better, right? If mult cards are better than bonus cards. You know what I mean? Like, at what point are we just so hungry for chips that 30 chips is going to be better than 4 mult, even with the exponential growth? Is there any point ever where it happens? Or is it just doomed to be worse? Wild card we've talked about. I don't think it's very good. It's just going to take up one of these slots. And I think it's pretty much worse than everything except stone card and maybe gold card if we have a ton of money already. Glass card's amazing. 2 times mult and foe removal is really good. Sometimes the removal hurts, but sometimes it's really good. Steel card's great as well. Steel card, it's just super good. 1.5x is going to be bigger than this, I think. An extra 1.5x, and you don't even have to play it, right? They're not mutually exclusive. Stone card, I think, goes against our philosophy of 5 of a kind, flush 5, 5 card hands in general, even if we're going for full house or flush house. there's no room for a stone card. We want as many face cards we can play as possible. And it's not even that much better than a bonus card, right? Like, it's 50 chips. A bonus face card is already 40 chips. Like, it's a face card and 40 chips. This one's nothing and 50 chips. Like, it's a net negative, I think, for us. Gold card, we don't need to talk about it a ton. Money is good. And the Midas Mask strat might be in the play, but I think Lucky card is our best bet. I really think that that's kind of the most solidified combo deck that I can kind of think of at the moment, is the Lucky card, Lucky Cat, Oops All Sixes, Red Seal, Kings, Bloodstone, that kind of thing. I think is really the best bet we have at making a real big run. Seals. Gold Seal's cool. Blue Seal's mid. Purple Seal's cool. This is the order I value them in. Red Seal is amazing. I think it's the best one by far. Retriggering a card, I don't think I need to explain, right? Like, we're getting a lot of bonuses from playing face cards or anything like that. Like, if we can double up those bonuses or get another chance at a lucky or get an extra 2x mult from a glass or anything like that, it's amazing. Editions. Excuse me, sorry. I need a chapstick or something. I hate getting that dead skin on my lips. Base, no extra effects. Foil, I mean, any of these are good. I think that these are almost equal. I usually value holographic much higher than foil. But I think that Triple A kind of throws everything off. This plus 10 is going to be scored after all of the cards are scored. So it doesn't get that times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 from it. You know what I mean? If it did, it'd be amazing. But this is going to be the same kind of deal, right? This actually does get, like, the more mult you have, the better the chips get. The more mult you have, the worse 10 mult is comparatively. You know, if you have 1 million mult, 50 chips is 50 million points. If you have 1 million mult and 100 chips, 10 mult is only going to be, what is it? 1,000 points. Polychrome, amazing. This one actually is great. If you have 1 million mult and 100 chips, you're going to get 500,000. Wait, is that true? It's also... Is this true, right? 1 million mult, 100 chips. You are going to get an extra 500,000 mult from the Polychrome. 500,000 times 100 is 50 million. So these are actually kind of on the same level, which is crazy. If we're scoring 100 chips, which is probably not true, right? We're going to be scoring at least like 300 for a flush 5. Let's check it out. Do they not have a thing for flush 5, like the hands? Let me see. Base score for a flush 5. 160 is base, and then we're going to be getting 50 from our cards. So 210. So we're scoring a minimum of 210, and then what? Let's check out the planet card again. 3 and 40, yeah. So the polychrome is still quite a bit better than foil, but I think foil we do value higher than holographic. Again, I guess that's not... Where is it? That's not including, like, we should consider, like, 50 times 50. So it's actually 500 mult at the end of the day. If we put it on if we're including Kanio and Yorick, which I don't know if we are going to have both of them, and Triboulet and Perkia. We're just basically getting into the 5 Joker run again, minus Chakotay. So 500 times, let's call it 250. 500 times 250 is 125,000 points, which is not good enough. Not good enough. We're talking billions that we need to hit. The wall we were getting yesterday was the 47 billion marker. And I mean negative, obviously. Depending on the Joker, it's the best one. Booster packs. We don't really need to talk about these. We need the Arcanas for our legendaries. Celestials are good, but probably the worst of the packs for us. Standards are great to add more face cards to our deck. And buffoons are pretty mid, usually. You can't get the legendaries, but maybe if we're doing the double legendary seeds, it will value them more highly. And spectrals are great. I think that just to roll the dice on getting a negative Joker or getting 2 extra of our enhanced kings or whatever we're going for is great. It's really great. Tags. We can look at this too to just check out what we would want to hunt for if we go for the Anaglyph deck. Kind of mid. Kind of mid. I mean, it depends if we're going for something. Like if we're going for a specific type of Joker, maybe we want to hit these just to try and get an extra chance at it. The negatives are great. Again, the foils are better than I expected. The holographics we're not going to value too highly. Maybe early on we'll take it just to kind of get through the rounds faster. Polychrome is still the best besides negative, I think. And maybe even better than negative, depending. Because if you get a negative Joker that's pretty ass, it's still pretty ass. If you get an ass Joker that's polychrome, it's still times 1.5 mult. Investment tag, it could be good early. The voucher tag, I think we do want to value pretty highly later on. Reroll boss blind is very dependent on the boss blind again. If we get face cards are debuffed, heart cards are debuffed, or whatever we're going for is debuffed, it's really bad. Mega Standard, I think we do want to value pretty highly too, because we want to add face cards, enhanced face cards. If we can get a Red Seal King or something like that, it's really, really good. That can be our whole deck. Arcana pack, I think we value quite low, especially if we're cooking up our consumables. You know what I mean? And if we already have our legendaries, we're not going to be able to get duplicates unless we run Showman. Which could be a reason to run Showman, is for the Arcana packs, for the tarot card duplicates, rather than the Joker duplicates. But yeah. Celestial pack is pretty bad, I think, for us. It was one of the worst skips Buffoon pack is also quite bad, because ideally we want to get up to our 5 jokers early. If we were still hunting for it, obviously we'll take something. We'll consider looking at it. But otherwise, I don't think so. The handy tag can be pretty good, especially later on. We can get a ton of money. But if we're later on and we have To the Moon or we have our seed money vouchers, we can get a lot of money just from playing the hand and getting the interest. You know? So the money ones, especially the ones that build over time, are not amazing. You know? And we're not going to be playing, again, a ton of hands because we want to be winning in one hand. So round 30, we might not have more than like 35, 40 at most hands. And $40 is not, that's nothing to scoff at, but it's not amazing. And then the same thing for the discards. I think this might even be better because, unused discards. So I think this is probably worse. Maybe. I don't know. We're getting 1, 2, at most 3 a hand. Let's call it 1.5 per hand. We're going to get by round 30. Let's say we have $45. Nothing to scoff at, but not great. I think the shop, just going to the shop, is really valuable in itself. Spectral pack, it's okay. It's a 1 out of 2. It's really good if we get the right spectral card, but as we kind of saw when we went through all the spectral cards, a lot of them are bad or neutral. We have to get lucky to get that one that's good. Initial cards and boosters at the next shop are free. I think this is better early on. Later on, we don't really value it as much, right? The money stuff, if we're going to say no to $40, we're going to say no to the coupon tag because the shop's not going to cost $40. I think that this is better than either of these two or this one because early on it can still be good. And again, it's kind of same thing with this one. This one can be good early, where these two are generally terrible until the late game. Double tag, I don't really value it too highly just because all of these cards or all these tags that we've looked at, again, they're not really grabbing my attention as like, oh, I need to have this. So just taking this tag on the off chance that we find one of these tags and we really need it or something is not great. I guess the dream is kind of double tag, negative tag, double tag, polychrome tag, you know what I mean? Double tag, orbital tag into flush 5, level flush 5, 6 levels is amazing, but that requires us to skip 2 rounds and get really lucky by finding this tag and the correct hand. 3 hand size I think is quite bad. The hand size I don't value too highly. With our consistency, I think is pretty bad. Ideally, we're not going to have trouble playing our hands in the first place, so the hand size doesn't help us. And it's 1 round. It's one of the only ones that just is one and done, and like has no accumulative value. Like this only gives you the next shop free, but you get to save that money and get interest on it and all that. You know, these only give you 1 rare joker, but now you have a rare joker, and it'll help you in the run moving forward. Where like this one just helps you for the next round, and that's it. It's not even plus 3 hands, so theoretically you would get $3 more if you don't use the hands. You know, it just blows. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm missing something here. But I think that this is, like, I don't think I've ever skipped for the hand size. Maybe once or twice in a very specific situation where I thought I was going to lose. And I was broke or something. But I don't think it's very good. And then I think this one's also okay. It's okay. Again, if you have the vouchers for it, it gets really bad because your rerolls already start very, very low. But if you're hunting for something, it could be something for us to consider, because we can spend, if we want to reroll 4 times, we spend $5, $6, $7, $8. It's way more doable. Like, it starts to get pricey if you're doing that, hunting for something, and especially early, you're not going to have that money, but you could go, $1, $2, $3, $4 is doable. I think this tag is pretty good in normal runs, especially early, just to get you somewhere. 2 common jokers can be really good if you get like clubs give you +4 malts or whatever, something like that. Just to get you over the hump, it can be really good. But for us, again, I don't think a lot of the combo pieces we're looking for are common. And if they, I think this is just worse than the Mega Buffoon pack. Like, I don't see any world where Top Up is better than Mega Buffoon. Like, this is just strictly a worse version of this. You know what I mean? You have to have room to even see the jokers. This one, you don't have to have the room, and you can choose to sell. You get a choice of 2 jokers from 4 jokers, and they can be rare or uncommon. Like, I don't really get this. A lot of these other jokers are like, or a lot of the other tags have their own kind of balance. Like, even uncommon joker and rare joker, uncommon joker is not exclusively worse than rare joker. You know what I mean? Because maybe you want the you're hunting for an uncommon joker. You're not searching for a rare joker, like if we're going for Bloodstone or something, or we're going for Vagabond, like, we want to get the uncommon one. We don't want to get the rare one. Speed tag, I think, can be pretty good, dependent. Right, if you've skipped a ton, if you're going for like a throwback run or something, it can be quite good. But again, it's kind of the same deal with these two. I think this one's generally better. I like to skip, especially when you get to the higher difficulties and the small blinds give you no cash. I usually try and skip the small blinds if I can survive. So I'm going to get pretty high here. But yeah, I don't know. These money ones I don't value too highly unless you're super broke and you can use it to build interest. That's really the only place I'm really looking for it. Upgrade poker hand by 3 levels. We've talked about it already. I think if we hit the right hand, it's amazing, but it's super rare. So if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we definitely don't. And then doubles your max money is kind of the same vein as these ones. I think you can hit this. The way we're playing, I think we can hit this earlier than these, right? We're kind of topping out around 40, 45 here. This tops out at 40, but I think we can double up 40 pretty early. We can double up 20 or especially something super early, which these are going to take a little while to get to that level. And then the blinds. 16. If we can get past 16, that would be amazing. Small blind, big blind. Oh, I didn't know it worked like that. I never really did the math. I mean, I knew it was 300 and 450, but I didn't know it continued in that pattern. Cool. This one's kind of fine for us. Which ones are we looking to reroll if we see? Playing a most played hand. I didn't know it was the most played hand. That's interesting. It's pretty bad, but it's not game ending. This one's pretty fine to deal with. Fine. I mean, unless we get it later on. This is fine. This hurts a lot. The arm really sucks. But I don't know if I'd re-roll it. Especially early on, we usually haven't leveled our hands too high. It's not uncommon to have a 1x or level 1 hand. So we can just get by playing something that we don't really care about, or something that's level 1 or whatever. The club. Club cards are debuffed. These ones suck if we're running that suit, obviously. But I like to try and have consistency suit-wise over the whole deck, right? Where we're deathing or using cryptids or whatever, or the sun or the world, stuff like that. So the 3 of the 4 of them are going to be fine, but then the 4th one is going to be absolutely like game ending if we run into it. Face cards drawn, or cards drawn face down after each hand played, isn't terrible. This is basically a non-boss. We play 5 cards pretty much every time. Spade cards are debuffed. We've talked about this. Start with 0 discards is actually surprisingly hard to do. It's not terrible, especially if we are really cooking. If it's early on, we can just play a couple hands to discard, and then usually win in 1 or 2 hands. Diamonds are debuffed. I usually don't go for diamonds, but if we were, it's bad. -1 hand size. This one hurts a lot, actually. But again, it's not a reroll. It's not like we lose. This one hurts quite a bit. If we're confident we can beat it in 1, it's fine. But if we're doing flush 5s, we have options here, right? You can go 5 of a kind. You can go flush 5. You can go full house. You can go flush house. You can go 3 of a kind. You can go 4 of a kind. You know what I mean? We have options to get past this. It's not a game ender, usually, in most situations. Play only 1 hand type this round. This is, like, again, similar to the Psychic. It's kind of a non-boss. If we get stuck in a flush house 5 house, or flush 5 of a kind situation where we can only play 1 or the other, and we don't have the consistency of only having 1 of the options in our deck yet, it can be pretty bad. But usually I feel like that situation is avoided. All face cards are debuffed. This is a game ender. With the legendary jokers, you're pretty much always going for face cards. Unless you're ignoring Kanio and Yorick, which are 2 of the better legendaries, in my opinion. There's a non-face card build potential, I suppose. No, not Yorick. Kanio and Triboulet. But yeah, I don't know. This one pretty much always is a reroll if we can. Play or discard, always draw 3 cards. I don't know. I think it's kind of fine. One thing that I think is interesting that I learned recently is that you always draw 3 cards. It's not like draw 3 cards or up to your hand size. It's like, okay, let's say you have 8 of 8 cards. Your hand size is 8, you have 8 cards. You discard 1 card, you will draw 3 cards. You will draw up to 10 cards, and you will exceed your hand size. So it can even be a buff in some instances. Now, if we're playing 5 card hands, it's usually going to be bad. Or if we're really fishing for a specific card and we're discarding 4 or 5 cards at a time, it's bad. But that's just one note that I thought was interesting about this boss. This is quite bad, but I think that this is a prime opportunity to skip. Like, if we see that this is the boss for the next level, we can skip both, or skip 1 at least, and then it's literally not a boss. Like, there's no downside. Excuse me. Yeah, if we skip both, there's literally no downside. And if we skip 1, it's usually pretty manageable. Even if we play both and we're playing 10 cards total, it's doable. You know? The needle, this has killed a lot of my runs. It really has killed a lot of my runs. But I think with the way that we're playing, it hopefully will not be too bad. I think you maintain your discards. You can only play one hand. So if you play your flush 5 first hand, you should be cool. Like a lot of the ones that we're doing, we're going to probably try and beat the bosses in 1 or 2 hands total. And since this is only 1x base and everything else is 2x base, it's like we'll double the score or meet the score, ideally. Heart cards are debuffed. This is the one that's scary, right? Because a lot of the strategy revolves around heart cards. And I don't know. I said I think heart cards are the best suit in the game. So I tend to run them, and this is the one that, debuffing a suit, this is the worst one for me that I've found. Yeah, but I don't know. Lose $1 per card played. It's annoying, but it's not going to kill us, you know? You can go into debt with this one, though. I did learn that. If you have $0 and you play 20 cards, you're going to be at -20. Base chips and molt are halved. This one hurts for sure. It's kind of in the same deal as extra large blind. This is very similar here. And this does not work in the way that the arm does, where like if you're level 1, it doesn't do anything. Essentially, if you have a level 1 hand, it doesn't do anything. It's not going to decrease it to level 0. This one, if you're at a level 1 hand, you will get half of the chips and molt from a level 1 hand. The mark, score at least 2x base. All face cards are drawn face down. This hurts for us, but if we have 5 face cards, you can kind of just run them. Just throw them at the wall and see what sticks. And usually you will beat this boss, I feel. You at least know they're face cards, right? And if it's kings and queens, like if we're killing all our jacks, it's probably just going to be kings and queens. So you're going to get a full house at like worst. You're going to get a full house or a 4 of a kind at the worst. Flips and shuffles all Joker cards. It's annoying, but it's not that bad. Especially with our legendary runs. We don't have a lot of flat molt adders, and the ones that we do, we try and have them be when the cards are scored, it adds the molt. So this one is not going to be too bad for us, I'm hoping. Verdant Leaf. This one is pretty bad. This one can be really bad. If we have our full combo and we run into Verdant Leaf, we're cooked. It's miserable. It's a real miserable time. Very large blind. 6x. Wow, that is a lot. I didn't know it was that high. They all give the same amount of money. 6x base. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't really have too many opinions on it. I think that if you're there and you're on the edge, it really hurts to run up against. But for anti-8, usually we have not had a lot of trouble at that point with these like pretty insane combo decks. You know what I mean? You get off the ground quite quickly, and you're beating the anti-8 by a lot. So it's not a huge deal. This one hurts kind of in the same vein as Verdant Leaf. It's not as bad, right? I don't think. I mean, sometimes it is. The Verdant Leaf, you get to choose which Joker you sell. So it can be really easy if you have one that doesn't matter at all. You just sell it and it's not a boss anymore. This one, it chooses one to disable, but at least you get to keep it for after. So I guess if your goal is just beating the game, Verdant Leaf is better. But if you're trying to go endless, Crimson Heart is usually easier to run into. And then the Cerulean Bell forces one card to always be selected. I've kind of not had a ton of trouble with this on the odd RNG based run. It's been really bad where I'm holding a specific card to get a specific hand, and it's gone, and it really like put me in a tough situation where I'm like, I have to either play this high card, or I have to discard this card I really want to keep. It can mess you up, but usually I feel like it's not a terribly difficult challenge. And then that's all we got right now in terms of in-game research. Here, let's check this out. Let's refine a little. Okay, so potential builds. So we have we want to do a glass build. Let's call it combos. Or let's call it builds. Glass cards. Cryptid in hand. We want to do the lucky build. Okay, we want to do vampire. What's it called? Midas Mask. Mime, Dusk, Steel Joker. What else can we do? Baron. I don't know if Baron... I think Baron is not necessarily a win con for us. I think it's just a piece that we can include. You know what I mean? Oh, we want to do an econ build. Oh, we want to do a campfire build. Maybe that's in this one. Sock and Buskin, I think, again, it's not necessarily like this can fit into so many of our builds, maybe even all of them. That I don't think it really matters. Like, we're not going to make a Sock and Buskin build. We're just going to make builds, and if we get a Sock and Buskin, go for it. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. The Idol I don't think is, again, it's not a build for us. Like, if I can pick up a Blueprint or a Brainstorm or Invis Joker and Showman are not the same, not as good. I think these are the two worst ones, because this one you have to hold in hand for a while and it gets a random Joker, And this one you're just praying that another version of the same Joker shows up, and you have to hold it in hand, like it takes up a slot. Blueprint and Brainstorm just copy directly. And obviously there are some that don't, you know what I mean? They don't, they're not compatible is the word I'm looking for. But they're there from the beginning. They're never really dead cards. As long as you have another Joker that works with it, it at least copies that. Okay. So for glass cards, let's come back over here. Right. We're good. All right, let's head back to the collection of Jokers. And let's see what we would want to put in a glass card deck. So obviously we're going to want to do... I think DNA is really good for us. Where is she? No, that's Invis. Am I missing it? Where is it? There it is. We want Glass Joker. We definitely want Kanio. That's kind of the core of the build, I think. And then the rest is kind of filler. You know what I mean? DNA, Glass Joker, Kanio is like, this is what we kind of need to make the deck work in general. And then obviously the other legendaries are very good, right? We're going to be looking at so this is core. These are optional. We can go Triboulet. We can go Perkeo for the Justice, to dupe the Justices. I mean, Yorick is good, but I don't think we're really... I mean, Yorick is just good. I don't think we need to write it, though. If we get it, we get it. Yeah, I don't think we care too much about this. Oops, all sixes is interesting, but I think if we're really leaning all into glass, the glass cards are going to break. You know, we don't have to worry about the cards breaking. You know what I mean? Like, they'll break. We're going to thin our deck out quite heavily. Okay. No, no, no. Hanging Chad, throwback. Hanging Chad, I mean, it's the same thing as the, it's just a worse sock and buskin. No, no, no. Yeah, I don't think any of this matters too much. No, I'm not loving any of these cards for it. DNA's rare. Glass Choker. What rarity is Glass Choker? Glass Choker's uncommon, but it's 1 for baseball card. It's essentially just a polychrome. So no, I don't think that's the wave. Booster packs. The money's nice, but I don't think that's a core or even optional. That's not like something we're hunting. Photograph, Boss Blind, no, no, no. Obelisk, Vagabond, Hologram could be really good. I mean, Hologram and DNA is just a good combo. And we're gonna need to be refreshing, adding cards, duping cards quite a bit. No, 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 no. I think Hiker's terrible because our cards are gonna get destroyed. This is our deck's gonna be so thin. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope. Nah, I don't think any of these other cards are super great for us. No. Dusk could be interesting. Just like if we're really getting down to it, if we get to the final hand, having Dusk go and retrigger all our glass cards could be really good. No. Alright, one second, I gotta be right back again. Okie dokie. I don't think these cards are quite interesting other than Dusk. This Marble Joker thing is something I'm interested in, but I don't think it fits the legendary template. And then, yeah, these commons are just not going to make the cut. Okay. Cryptid in hand. I think let's come back to that later, because I think people have cooked that combo pretty thoroughly. So the lucky build. We're going to want Lucky Cat, obviously. Lucky Cat. We're gonna want, I mean, I think for this one, Sock and Buskin is actually core. I think this one's core. The Bloodstone is pretty core also. And then for the legendaries, we're going to want Kanyo, and definitely AAA is core. Kanyo. The hard part is like, we want the perky, bro. We want the little perky. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get some cryptids, some dupe engine. Like, that's kind of core. DNA. Perkeo. Huh. All right, let's go through again just to take a gander. Oh, we need oops all sixes too. Shit. This is a tough one. I think we're going to need at least one negative on this. It's tricky, it's tricky. And maybe we can dupe, we can hold something. Or maybe we cut the Kanyo. Maybe. Right, because we're going to have trouble enough getting the duped cards, getting duped tarots, you know what I mean? That I think duping up all those cards and then also having duped hangmans to kill is kind of stretching ourselves too thin. Alright, DNA, Perkeo. I guess Bloodstone's kind of optional too. Hologram, I think could fit in most of these. If we get DNA, like DNA into hologram is amazing. If we can get it. We got the Lucky Cat. This might be a baseball card, Andrew. Lucky Cat's uncommon. Sock and Buskin's uncommon. Bloodstone's uncommon. Where is Oops All Sixes? Oops All Sixes is uncommon. So I think we can toss in an optional baseball card. Ha ha ha. Rough gem. No, not interested. Right, I don't think there's much else we're missing here. Lucky Cat, baseball card, Diet Cola. No. Smiley face. I mean, these are just cards. They're not combo pieces. No, we're chilling. We're chilling. Right. I mean, Baron. I don't even know where Baron fits in. I think Baron's just a good card. Like, it's not exactly... Maybe that goes into our steel. Maybe it's a steel combo piece with the Mime and Steel Joker. I don't know. Could be something there. If we're re-triggering all held in hand effects, it's essentially doubling up the steals if we have Steel Kings. Steel, oh man, Steel, Red Seal, Kings with Mime, Baron, and Steel Joker. See, that could go kind of crazy. I'm just trying to think here. Egg, no. No. I mean, Splash is interesting, right? If we're split between kings and queens. Like, it's kind of an edge case, you know what I mean? If we have a 4 of a kind with kings and then 1 extra queen or something. I don't think it's worth considering. Space Joker fits into this one too. Again, it's another uncommon. And it benefits from Oops All Sixes. This could be real good. Business card, business card. I mean, I guess, right? I don't think that this is the Pareidolia one. Steel Joker. No. We've already what was Dusk was in the last one, yeah? I mean, Dusk isn't bad again here, right? Dusk. We like retriggers. I mean, we pick up a Seltzer. Mime is kind of... It's not retrigger in hand. Retrigger held in hand abilities. Not retrigger in general. And then again, these are pretty mid. I think if we get the Lusty Joker... It can be a stopgap, but it's not... Like, look at all these cards that we have, you know? There's so many good cards for this deck that fit. Okay. Alright, Vampire and Midas Mask. Okay, obviously we go Core, Vampire, Midas Mask, and then I think Perkeo, this is one of the ones Where Perkeo's kind of mid. Not kind of mid. I mean, it's still an amazing card. But it's not super duper needed. Like, if we can find some way to dupe, some way to get consistency, you know, we really, that's the main thing here, right? Because we're not even really looking for enhancements. We don't need to dupe a specific card or, you know what I mean, like kill certain cards or anything like that. So, I don't know. Let's see. So, Vampire, Midas Mask. And then what else is core? I think AAA is going to be core. I don't even think Kanyo's core in this one. Right? Because I just said how we don't need... We're not necessarily hunting. Like, Vampires essentially are a replacement Kanyo with this. And we're not going to have a ton of access to tarot cards or removal. So, I'm not sure. Optional. Golden ticket. The Sock and Buskin, this is one where Sock and Buskin's pretty... I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Doubling up the AAA is really good, but it's not huge. I mean, I'll toss it an optional, but I think it goes without saying. I'm thinking about this one, right? Because I think the thing is we really want face cards. Like, we don't even need we really don't even need anything else. Like, we're gonna get the face cards enhanced over and over again every time. So it doesn't really matter to get extra enhanced cards or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to round this one out. I really don't. I'm confused here. What else is core? Vampire's rare. What's Midas Mask? Midas Mask is uncommon. I don't think it's really ripe for a baseball card. Ha ha ha. Trading card isn't bad. It's kind of mid though. I'm not even going to put it on. I think if we pick it up, we pick it up. But I'm not really looking for it even. Golden Joker. No. A lot of this is kind of... This is like our whole deck. Our whole build. This could be a Baron situation. Baron? Square Joker. DNA. Obvi. DNA's so freaking good, man. Hiker might be good here. This could be the Hiker run. Because I don't believe that this gets stripped with the enhancement. So it could be some way of building up our cards to be better than base while still feeding the vampire. I think Burglar's pretty good here too. Honestly. Because if we get more hands, we can play worse hands intentionally and just feed them face cards. You know what I mean? And then I think this is an optional Pareidolia thing. Right, that's how you spell it? Yep. Because, again, it's just feeding the vampire, right? It's not necessarily end game, but it's just feeding them. I think we're in a scary face situation as well. Scary face, smiley face. Retrigger all 2s, 3s, 4s, or 5s. This could be an interesting combo here. Hack is an interesting card. I hadn't really considered it, but it's an interesting card. But I don't think it really worked. Like, Pareidolia is cool and all, but Triboulet specifically, it does not say face cards. You know what I mean? It says kings and queens. Reroll, Raised Fist, Dusk. I don't think these are great here for us. Did I toss Bull in here? Bull could be good if we get the ticket. And then I think that's kind of it. This run's a little cooked. Vampire Midas is kind of cooked. Obviously, if we can get a dupe on something, it would be great. If we could get a Blueprint or a Brainstorm or something like that. Did we already do our Steel one? Glass card. Lucky, optional. Oh, excuse me. Steel build, core. Obviously, we're looking for Mime. We're looking for Baron. We're looking for Steel Joker. Right? Mime, retrigger all held in hand abilities. Steel Joker gains 0.25 mult for each steel card in your full deck. Where's the other one? Baron. Each king held in hand gives X2 mult. This one, I think we're going to need a Perkeo and a Triboulet. I think these are the core. Obviously, Yorick and Chakotay are good cards, right? But they just don't combo super well. You know what I mean? Like, it disables the boss blind. It's just what happens. You know what I mean? You can't combo into something. If anything, it has anti-synergy with the Matador, right? You want to trigger the boss blind. Like everything else, like there's no synergies you can play with it. And then Yorick is kind of the same deal, where like it's ×5 mult. That's it. It's good. You want ×5 mult, like it's amazing. But you unless you have a discard engine or something, like that just doesn't really happen. Like, and again, it's mainly anti-synergy. Like this Mary Andy is a good synergy card. But like a lot of cards, what's it called? Where's the other one? There's another one that just gives you 1 discard, but there are other cards like the tent pole or whatever, right? The banner. You want to keep your discards, or delayed gratification. You can't discard anything ever, or else it's a dead slot. Yeah, let's see what else we got cooking here. Obviously, we want DNA. Alright, these, again, pay no attention. Mime is core. Dusk is just played cards. Here's my question, actually. It's retrigger all played face cards. So it's not such a huge deal to actually get Sock and Buskin on this one. DNA is amazing. Cavendish. Yeah, I mean, it's Cavendish. What are you going to do? Vampire, I don't think... Like, if we're getting steel cards, I think that's just going to be better than a vampire sucking all the steel cards up. Again, this could be a hologram situation. This could be an obelisk situation, too. Because we're going to want a lot of cards in hand. You know what I mean? So we could be playing cards to like get us there and stuff like that. And then once we're kind of reaching the critical mass of what we need, we can start just playing pairs or high cards even and stuff like that. Because all of our... that kind of nukes AAA though. But all of our generation is coming from in-hand abilities as opposed to played abilities, you know? So it's something. It's just a nugget to consider. Midas Mask, Luchador. No. Midas Mask is so bad here, right? We want to keep our enchantments. Enhancements, enchantments, enhanced enhancements. Enhanced enchantments. Enchanted enhancements. Mime is the only uncommon in the core, so baseball card's pretty bad. No. All cards played. It doesn't retrigger all cards. Just all cards played. Castle. I don't think it matters too much. And then I think Smiley and Scary again is nice. Not amazing, but it's nice. Golden Ticket doesn't matter. Mr. Bones. This all doesn't really matter. Throwback. I don't think we're going to skip many blinds. Right? A showman. This could be a showman situation. Duped Joker. Okay. Flower pot. No, a lot of this stuff doesn't really matter terribly much. Seeing double. No. Yeah, I think that build is kind of cooked there, right? That's mainly what we're looking for. All right. Pareidolia with trading card. Core. Pareidolia. Trading card. Conio. This stuff doesn't matter too much. We could toss in an optional. What's the card's name? The sixth guy, the spectral Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense. Huh. What does the trading card read again? The exact first discard of the round, only one card. Okay. Midas Mask. Plus Vampire, if we can scoop this into something. This, yeah, maybe this is a combined build here. I think, yeah, maybe we're combining these ones. Maybe we want to go back up to the, here. Could be really good. I'm not sure. Right? Like... Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll edit it in post. So we're killing cards. What does that synergize with? Erosion? I mean... Alright, I think that one's a little cooked. We're going to take out the Cryptid in Hand one. I'm going to look at the Scooty video for that later. And, honestly, I'm kind of a little messed up right now. Like, I'm not feeling super well. So, I think the Econ Campfire one, I might just cook up off stream and toss it in the YouTube video if we can get it. I'm probably going to make a doc or something clean this notepad up for stream tomorrow, or stream Thursday rather. It gives me 2 days to do some stuff. So yeah, I think that's where we're at. And I'm gonna call it a GG. We wanted to go 4 hours today, but it was literally just me the whole time. So I don't think, in the last 54 minutes here, we're gonna get too much engagement, unfortunately. So, rip. GG. Bye. If you're seeing the VOD, VOD watchers, rejoice. Okay, see ya.